Hello everyone, welcome to today's daily news analysis. So before we move on to our sessions, let's take a moment to remember an important event in Indian history. On February 18, that is today's February 18, but few years back, the Royal Indian Navy mutiny started in Mumbai. Over 20,000 sailors participated and it quickly spread to other parts of British India. So this was a very significant act of resistance against British rule. So now let's see how much you remember about this particular event. So we'll have a quick quiz on this particular event. Okay, so by the end of the session we'll be discussing what is the answer of this. Okay, all right. So the Royal Indian Navy mutiny is often seen as a precursor to which major event in Indian history? One is a Quit India movement, A, Quit India movement, B, Indian independence, C, partition of India, D, non-cooperation movement. Okay, so if you know the particular year, so I already told the date, it is February 18. So if you know the year, you will be easily able to answer this particular question. Okay, so we'll be discussing this answer in the by the end of the session. Okay, all right. So these are the topics for today's session. Okay, so first one is related to constitutional morality. I think this is from a Hindu newspaper only. Okay, here we'll be discussing what is constitutional morality, some of the important judgments in regarding this constitutional morality, what is this concept, all these things we'll be discussing here. Other one is lighten the pollution burden of thermal uh, power states. Okay, some states are producing states, some states are consumer state, but still the pollution burden is not equally distributed between these states. So we'll be discussing what are the implications. Another one is don't quack in Delhi. Okay, so this is regarding the earthquake which happened in Delhi. So we'll be discussing what is the specialty of this Delhi region, what is the seismic zone, all these things will be discussed in this article. Okay, third one is a very interesting article. So this is regarding the color revolution. Okay, so we'll discuss what is in Georgia. So we'll discuss what is this color revolution. So what are the, I mean, like different colors are related to different revolution, what is the historical context, all those things will be dealt in this particular topic. Okay, so other than that we have four more articles are also there, but we have already covered these four articles in the past DNA. So the link will be given in the description box and as well as a comment box. You can click on that link and you can see the entire video. Okay, so that is regarding the Places of Worship Act. Okay, so we have already discussed regarding what is this particular act, what was the context, all these things was discussed. Other one is related to the appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner. Okay, Jnanish Kumar has been appointed as a Chief Election Commissioner. So we'll be discussing. We have already discussed regarding how the appointment process, how the selection process, what are the acts which are dealing with this particular process and all. Next one is related to DDoS attack. Okay, so we have discussed what is this DDoS attack, especially related to this Karnataka event. Okay, Karnataka, there was a portal known as Kaveri 2.0. So this DDoS attack happened in this Kaveri 2.0. Okay, again this was in today's Hindu. I have already discussed that. Okay, last one is related to China's East reactor. Okay, so this is actually a nuclear fusion reactor. You might have heard mostly regarding the nuclear fission reactors only, but this is related to the nuclear fusion reactor. Okay, so we have discussed what are the advantages of fusion reactors, how it is different from the other reactors and all. Okay, all right. So that's these are the topics for discussion for today's daily news analysis. All right. So before we move on to the session, let me introduce you to one of our products. Okay, so this is the self-study planner for UPSC prelims we have created for this 2025 prelims. Okay, so here you can see a QR code. So here after scanning this QR code, you can download our app, Narayana IAS Academy app, and in that we have listed this self-study planner, 110 days self-study planner, which will be helpful for your UPSC CSE 2025 examination. Okay, all right. Another important product is a 1-year prelims come mains program. Okay, 1-year prelims come mains integrated course. So this will be for the aspirants who are aiming the 2026 examination. Other one is a 2-year prelims come mains integrated course. So this will be for the aspirants who are aiming the 2027 examination. Okay, all right. So what are our specialties? So we have 800 plus hours of GS as well as CSAT class are there, and also we have 200 plus hours of current affairs class are also included. We have created a micro schedule to ensure that you are not missing out on any topics. So we have enlarged the syllabus and to make your life easier. Okay, and also we will have expert faculty for all the subjects, and obviously without testing the practice won't be proper. So we have tests for both prelims as well as mains. Test series will also be available in this package. Okay. All right, moving on to first topic. So this is related to constitutional morality. Okay, So the context is in the recent years, the Indian judiciary has embraced the concept of constitutional morality. Okay, so they have used this tool uh, to use this constitutional morality as a tool to interpret and test and adjudicate upon the constitutional value of different laws. Okay, so we'll be discussing what is this concept. Okay, this kind of a relatively new tool which they have been using to interpret these laws. Okay, all right. So regarding the syllabus, this is important for both ethical point of view, morality. Okay, so this is important from both ethical point of view as well as this is related to constitutional related. So related to GS paper 2. Okay, so both GS paper 2 as well as GS paper 4. So we'll be discussing what is this concept as well as the important laws in this regard. Okay. All right. So previous year question in this regard: what is meant by the term constitutional morality? How does one uphold constitutional morality? Directly asked from this particular topic only, 2019 ethics paper. Okay. All right. So what is morality? Okay. We'll start with the basic question: what is morality? So basically, morality refers to the principles that help us decide what is right and wrong. Okay. So what is right and what is wrong? So these are the morality refers to the principles that help us decide what is right and wrong. Okay. So basically, it's a system of values that guide our behavior. But where we are actually getting this morality? We are getting this morality from various sources. It depends on person to person. For example, I might be getting the morality from my religion. Someone else might be getting the morality from their philosophy, from the books they have read, from their teachers, from the society, from other influence. So like that, it will be varying. For example, these are some of the examples. Religion. Okay, someone might be getting it from their particular religion only. The religion, different religions will be teaching us different moral principles, and from culture also. Societal norms will also be shaping our right as well as wrong. And for example, how Indian society will be thinking, US society won't be thinking the same thing. So culture will be different. Philosophy, some philosophers, they have developed their how people have to live. All these things will be there. Legal systems, they also often affect this moral standards, and also personal experience, like our teachers, our books, or maybe when we do travel. So it's kind of these personal experiences also very much important. Okay, and also empathy. Empathy is also important. Understanding the feelings of others, that also plays a big role in morality. Okay, to give an example, for example, if you find a wallet on the street with some money inside, what you will be doing? The moral question is, should you be the moral question is, will you keep the money or will you return it to the owner? If you decide to keep the money, if you decide to return it, you are following the normal principles of honesty as well as morality. But if you decide to keep the money, maybe you have a different set of morality. You have your own principles which says that you have to keep the money. Okay, so this is the basic understanding of what is morality. The basic understanding of morality. Now our question is, what is constitutional morality? Okay, morality when applied in this constitutional. And okay, so basically constitutional morality refers to, again, the same principles only, but these principles are enshrined in the country's constitution. Okay, so adherence to the core principles and values enshrined in the constitution of that particular country. So that is known as constitutional morality. Okay, so it can be dictated using laws, policies, and even actions that align with the core values. Okay, so in context of India, it involves adhering to the ideals of justice, equality, and liberty. So we have enlisted all these things in our preamble itself. Preamble is a preface of Indian Constitution. So the preface itself deal with all these things. Okay, justice, equality, liberty. Okay, even in justice itself, we have different types of justice: social justice, political justice. So like that, we have equality also, different types of equality. Liberty also is there. Okay, so constitutional morality is not just about following exact text. Okay, it's not about, okay, this is written in the constitution, we have to follow. It's about upholding what is the spirit. Okay, so this is actually the spirit. The uh, preamble is actually showing the spirit of the constitution. Okay, so regarding the origin of this particular term, constitutional morality, so this was first brought by a person, a thinker, George Grote. Okay, a thinker, George Grote. So he said that constitutional morality means paramount reverence for the forms of the constitution. Paramount reverence for the forms of the constitution of the land. Okay, whichever country it be, that reverence to that particular country's constitution. That is the definition which was given by George Grote regarding um, constitutional morality. Coming to India, this term was first used by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. You know what who Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is? B.R. Ambedkar is a person who was the chairman of the drafting committee of Indian Constitution. Okay, again, so obviously constitutional morality should also be. He also might have upheld the constitutional morality while drafting the Indian Constitution. Okay, all right. To simply put, what constitutional morality is, constitutional morality requires the policies and actions to be judged based on their compatibility with constitutional values. Okay, so our constitutional values are justice, equality, and liberty. So whichever policies you are making or whichever judgments you are making, you have to ensure that you are upholding the values which are given by the Indian Constitution. Okay, but other than Indian Constitution, which all things we can use? For example, traditional norms will be there. Some of them will be outdated. Okay, traditional scriptures will be there. Religious scriptures will be there. Based on that also we can have, right? For example, if you go to a theocratic state like Pakistan or something, they are following their religious books only. Okay, India is not like that. India is following the constitution only. Okay, so like that way, so that is a difference. Imagine if a law is saying that only men can own property, and others, women cannot have any right on the property. So this is completely discriminatory. Okay, so this is actually violating the equality principle. Equality principle. So if this law is challenged in the court, the judges would look at it through the lens of constitutional morality. Okay, so equality is not there, so that law is not valid. This is how it will be determined. Okay, all right. All right. So these are some of the important cases, some of the important cases which have upheld the, or maybe in which we can find that the application of constitutional morality is there. Okay. First one is NAS Foundation case. NAS Foundation case of 2009. So in this particular case, only section 377 of the Indian Penal Code. Section 377 of Indian Penal Code means same-sex relations will be there. So in this particular case, it was made illegal. Okay. So that is this particular case. Section 377, section 377 of IPC, which is not there. Section 377 of IPC. Okay, so that this particular case only made that same-sex relations illegal. So here also the question of constitutional morality is coming. So the Supreme Court said that the law should protect individual rights like freedom, dignity. So this law discriminated against consenting adults based on their sexual orientation, and again it was against a principle of equality. Okay, like we have said, it is equality is there, fraternity, equality is there, liberty is there, as well as freedom is also there. Okay, so this is violating all these things. So two friends want to marry, but the society said they couldn't do that because of the gender. The court said everyone has the right to do this. Okay, so this is what the court said in this particular case. Another one is a very famous case, that is a Sabarimala case. Sabarimala in Kerala 2018. Okay, Sabarimala is a temple in which only men, only if you take the adults, then only adults, men can enter. Children, girls can go, as well as old age women can also go. But other than that, in this other age group, only men can go. Okay, so here also the question of constitutional morality is coming. Supreme Court ruled that the practice violated the principle of gender equality. Okay, so here the question was related to gender equality. Again, this is also another case in which this constitutional morality was upheld. Okay, imagine in a school, if uh, there is an order like so few students should not study science, then what will we do? That is a pure discrimination only, right? So everyone has the right to study whichever subjects they want. Okay, until and unless there is some other qualifying criteria. So that's also something. Another important case is Navtej Singh Johar case. Again, this is also related to the section 377 of the IPC only. Here they said that they criminalized the homosexuality, turning what they have already done. Okay, again here also the question of constitutional morality is coming. Okay, another important case is Joseph Shine case. Joseph Shine case of 2018. So this is related to adultery. Okay, adultery was earlier considered as a crime. Adultery was earlier considered as a crime. Okay, But later, through other precedents and all, global precedents and all, the Supreme Court said that arbitrary laws went against personal freedom and autonomy, and it ruled that individuals should be free to make their own decisions without interference. Okay, so this is something which Supreme Court has said regarding this particular case. Okay, so these are some of the important cases in which the question of constitutional morality is coming up. Okay, all right. All right. Now let's see what are the arguments in favor of this constitutional morality. Why we have to uphold the principle of constitutional morality. Okay, so that is something very much important. All right. One is protection of fundamental rights. One is protection of fundamental rights. So basically, this equality is one of our fundamental right only. The Constitution is guaranteeing us freedom of speech. So if the government is trying to silence the people who speaking out, the constitutional morality will give courts to ensure that right to speak freely is protected. Okay, so there we have to uphold the constitutional morality of equality. Okay, equality as well as liberty, that should be upheld. Okay, another one is progressive society. Okay, so this constitutional morality ensures that we are actually moving to a progressive society. It facilitates the societal progress. If a country where slavery was once legal, by embracing this constitutional morality, the courts might declare slavery unconstitutional because it goes against the core values of equality and justice. So like that, we have to be updated. We have to go. We have to upgrade ourselves regarding this. So this helps the society also to evolve towards a more fair and inclusive world. Okay, so that's also there. Another one is uniformity in law. Okay, so if you are, for example, every religion will be having different set of laws, right? For example, in Islam, sometimes this parda system was considered as a their core value. Okay, in some other religion or maybe the other morals of society, it might not be the same case. So like that way, we need to we need to unify our laws. Okay, apart from other religions and all, we need to unify our laws. So that's also there. Okay, so that's also one of the features of this. Another one is judicial responsibility. For example, in a case where a majority of the people want to deny some right to the minority of the people. Okay, so here also the court can intervene. It can act as a protector of the constitutional values. They can also consider this constitutional morality, and they can ensure that the minorities are not unfairly treated. Okay, but despite, because popular opinion will be different. Okay, so that's also there. Another one, moral and ethical governance. It will ensure that there is actually a moral and ethical governance is there. Okay, not just based on just constitutional value, but still uh, constitutional morality is being upheld. Okay, especially in this institutional level and all. Okay, all right. Now let's see some of the criticisms of this constitutional morality. One is it is actually not clear. It's having some ambiguity as well as subjectivity is there. So that is one of the important criticism related to this. For example, one judge will be having one opinion. One judge will be having one judge might think a law is unconstitutional. Another judge might think, okay, this is fine. This is much needed for this particular. So it's subjective. Every person's constitutional morality might be different. Okay, so that is also there. Okay, another one, potential for judicial activism. Judicial activism, for example, imagine a judge who believes in certain issue like climate change that should be addressed urgently. So if they decide to act on their personal beliefs and pass a ruling that doesn't directly come from the law, it could be seen as judicial activism. Okay, judicial activism, that is also another issue. It could be risky because it could lead to decisions that reflect personal belief. Other than constitution, it could believe reflect personal belief. Okay, another important thing is judicial overreach. Okay, judiciary can reach to other domains like legislature as well as executive. So that is also another important thing. If the judges change the laws about education, education is something which is the government's job, not the judiciary's job. So that is also there. Cultural sensitivities might there. This all again related to religion. Again, there is a fine line between this cultural sensitivity as well as the laws. For example, some cultures may have strong beliefs regarding maybe women's rights or maybe related to how they have to follow the religious customs and all. So like that. So that conflict will also be there. Okay. Another one is risk of undermining the democratic will. Okay, democratic will means that the majority will only be deciding the government, right? Okay, sometimes if we uphold the constitutional morality, it can be against the against the decision of the majority. Okay, so that is also that will also be a question. Okay, so to wrap up, constitutional morality, yeah, constitutional morality is not just a legal doctrine. Okay, basically there is nothing written in our constitution regarding constitutional morality itself, but it is actually an ethical foundation which is in which the integrity of the constitution is actually resting. So we have to ensure that constitutional morality is somehow upheld. Okay, all right. So with that note, moving on to next topic. Okay, next topic again, this is regarding the disparity of the pollution burden. Disparity of the pollution burden between different states. Why? Because we have consumer states as well as producer states are there. Okay, some states will be producing more but consuming less, but still they will be, the producing states will be having the pollution burden other than the consumer states. Okay, so this is what this particular article is saying. Okay, this will be coming under GS3, environmental pollution topic. All right. See a previous year question in this regard. Environmental impact assessment studies are increasingly undertaken before a project is cleared by government. Discuss the environmental impacts of coal-fired thermal plants located at coal pitted. It was asked in 2014. Okay. All right. So first, let's understand the key status, some of the key figures or key statistics related to the electricity generation in India. From what electricity is generated, what is actually the percentage, all these things. Let's discuss. Yeah, India is actually having a total installed capacity of 4,56,757 megawatt of electricity. 4,56,757 megawatt of electricity. Okay, of this 2,37,268.91 megawatt. So this is generated from thermal power. Okay, this is from thermal power generation primarily by coal. Primarily by coal. In that itself, you can see the statistics. Okay, the coal accounts for 73.08%. That is 11 lakh 80,427.19 million units. Okay, so this is accounted, the coal accounts for this much percentage, and that is 73% of the total electricity generation itself. Okay, so if you take the total non-renewable energy also, again we have oil and natural gas is also coming, so that will also be added to this. So it will be 1.48% of the total electricity generation, that is 23,885.04 million units. So that is coming from this oil and natural gas. Okay, so overall this is actually the share of non-renewable energy sources in electricity generation, which is contributing to almost 75% of this particular thing. That is 3/4 of our electricity generation is coming from non-renewable energy sources only. Okay, so after that we have renewable energies also there. Slowly it is becoming higher, but still as of now we have reached only 30%. Only 30% of our electricity generation is coming from this renewable energy sources. So this reliance on coal is having a lot of impact on India's environment and economic goals. Okay, so that is one of the major reasons. Other reason we will be discussing. Okay, so again, uh, India's environment and economic goal means it will be a major thing which is coming as a Paris climate goals. Okay, so we have updated our Paris climate goals. So 2022 we have updated our Paris climate goal. So based on this, we'll be keeping the emission intensity reduction will be at 45%. Okay, 45%. Earlier it was 30 to 35%. We have almost reached 30% itself. So now we have upgraded it to 45%, from 35% to 45%. Another one, the share of non-fossil fuels in installed energy capacity, that will be increased from 40% to 50%. Again, here also we have already crossed the 40%. Now we have upgraded to 50%. Okay, another one is related to the carbon sink. Okay, so here we will be creating 2.5 to 3 billion tons of additional sink through afforestation. So that we have again kept it in the same thing only. Okay. So what is the problem here? The challenge is these coal-fired power plants, they are actually a major contributor to this carbon emissions, and that is making it difficult to achieve these ambitious climate goals. Okay, so this is a major issue, but there is another major issue within in the economic front, sorry, in the economic as well as environment front within the countries. This is related to the global goals only. Another disparity is there between the states. Okay, so that will be discussing. Yeah, this is the disparity in the power production and consumption of the state. Again, this is also having environmental burden is also there. Okay, here you can see that states like Chhattisgarh, Odisha, state like Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand, they are exporters. Okay, they are electricity exporter countries, and they are actually coal rich states. Okay, they are actually coal rich states, and they generate a significant amount of thermal power. Okay, but due to their large production, these states have low per capita electricity. Their consumption is very low. Why? Because if you take the industries, or if you take the other uh, places where this coal is this electricity is needed, these states are not having that much capacity, is not that. But still, what they are doing, they are generating electricity and they are exporting it to other states which are in need of this. So basically these states are exporters, and their per capita consumption is low. Still their per capita consumption is low. Okay, so this is what one issue. But problem is, even though they are producing more and exporting only, who has to bear the brunt of the pollution? These states only. Okay, these states only, they are only having the issue of pollution. Why? Because they are only the producers. So environmental burden, the coal producing states bear the environment as well as health impacts are also there. Health impacts of this power generation, water pollution will be there, even land degradation will be there. So all these things are under the head of these particular states, coal producing states only, just because they are producing the coal for some other states. Okay, so who are the some other states? They are the importers. Okay, these states are the importers like Gujarat, Haryana and Maharashtra. So these are the coal importing states. Okay, coal importing states, and here itself Gujarat is one of the largest importer. Okay, but still these large consumers, don't have this environment burden, and also these uh, are benefiting of the cheaper and cleaner electricity. Okay, they are not having the pollution or the other issues like the coal producing states, but they are getting it for the cheaper price as well as a cleaner thing. Okay, cleaner electricity. So that is a major issue here. That is what the author says by the disparity. Okay, so what are the challenges in this current system? One is unequal burden. Unequal burden means the coal producing states bear the brunt of the environmental pollution caused by the thermal power plants, while this consumer states, they are actually enjoying cleaner energy. They are not getting polluted. These people are not having any health issues. So it is all coming to the coal producing states only. That is a major issue. Okay. Another one is taxation issue. Another one is, so this is in the environment front. This is in the environment front, they are actually having the unequal burden. Okay, so coming to the economic front, they are having taxation issues also there. For example, electricity is regulated by both state as well as central government. So state that produce electricity, they cannot tax the power generation. Okay, that is not taxable. So that is a major issue. But in contrast, if the consuming state, they are actually benefiting from this from the electricity duty. So this is a major issue. Okay, so this is in the economic front. This is in the environment front. This is in the economic front. Okay, so both ways these coal producing states are getting affected. Coal producing states are getting affected. So that is a major issue. And this coal in the economic disparity is also there. Economic disparity, how economic disparity is there? Coal producing states don't even earn tax revenue from the electricity generated, while the consuming state, they gain from the taxes on electricity, because these population will be using the electricity, right? So obviously they can tax, but these producing means they are selling it to other states only. Their taxation is not applicable. Okay, but still Here, after buying the electricity from them, they are selling it to the common people and getting the tax. So this is a major issue. Okay, so this is a major, these are the major challenges in this particular area. So to address these issues, past finance commissions, they have suggested many things. Okay, past suggestions by the past finance commissions. So they have suggested that the central government should make funding transfers to the coal producing states to help them mitigate the environmental concerns. Okay, so again, this should be, what were the issues? One is in the environment front, other one is in the economic front. Okay, so they should be, the coal producing states should be helped to mitigate the environmental impacts of power generation. Okay, even the central government has the duty, and also the other states also has the duty. Okay, another one is the coal producing state must be fairly compensated. This is in the economic front. Okay, whether you can include a tax, you can either ensure that these importer states are paying some extra tax for tax to this coal producing states, so that they are also getting benefited from their production. So that kind of thing should also be there. A more equitable solution that should be found, whether through funding transfers or maybe tax adjustment. These states should be fairly compensated for their contributions. Okay, this is what it is meant. Okay, all right, moving on to next topic. Again, this is from the Indian Express only, but again, the very important topic. This is related to the earthquake which happened in Delhi. So February 17, yesterday, there was an earthquake in Delhi, and this is the one of the strongest earthquake in the past 5 years. So we'll be discussing what is the seismic zone in which Delhi is part of. But still, there is another anomaly is also there regarding this Delhi. There is, even though this is in the highly seismic active region, but there is actually low risk of large earthquakes in this area. So we'll discuss what are the geological factors related to that also. Okay, coming under GS paper 3, disaster and disaster management, and also in the GS paper 1 also related to geography. Okay. Alright, a previous year question in this regard. The frequency of earthquakes appear to have increased in the Indian subcontinent. However, India's preparedness for mitigating their impact and significant gaps. Okay, discuss various aspects. Okay. Alright, so before moving on to this particular Delhi earthquake, we need to understand what an earthquake is. I'm not going much into this geographical part, but still basic understanding only. So what is earthquake? Earthquake means it's actually related to disaster front only I'm saying. So earthquake is actually sudden and vibrant shaking of earth surface. Okay, so that can be due to many reasons. For example, in undersea and all, there can be issues all there. But basically, what is happening is actually the movement of tectonic plate. So since these tectonic plates are moving, a large release of energy will be there. Okay, like this. So these are tectonic plates. Okay, so these tectonic plates are moving. It can be moved in this way, this way, this way, like that. Many ways these tectonic plates can be moved. So basically, when these tectonic plates are moving, we can have earthquake. Okay, again, this can also move in different ways. For example, these plates can come like this. At that time, we call it as convergent boundaries. Plates move and collide each other. That is convergent boundaries. Sometimes it can move this way. It can move this way. So this is known as divergent boundaries. Plates are moving apart, and also we have transform boundaries. Rarely we have transform boundaries are also San Andreas fault types. Again, this can move this way, this can move this way. Okay, so basically this kind of action will be there. Okay, so that is transform boundaries. Okay, this is the basics only. So whatever happens, sudden release of energy is happening. Okay, so that we call it as seismic waves, P waves, S waves, and all will be there. So that will be coming to the earth surface. Okay, from here it will be coming to the earth surface. Epicenter will be, okay, like that. This will be coming and it will be affected to these areas. Okay, so this is the basic principle behind earthquakes only. Okay, basic principle behind earthquake, but every area it won't be the same. Earthquake will be different in different area. So to understand or maybe to unify it, we have actually divided into seismic zones. We have divided the zones into seismic zones. Okay, we have divided it into seismic zones. So we have seismic zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like that we have different types of seismic zones are there. So zone 1 is very low risk. Okay, zone 1 is very low risk. It's not even in this image. Zone 1 is very low risk. So after that, zone 2, it's low risk. Zone 2 is low risk, low damage risk zone. After that, we have zone 3, it's moderate damage risk zone. Okay, zone 4 is high damage risk zone. Zone 5 is very high damage risk zone. You can see based on this which all areas are highly prone to earthquake. Okay, these areas are highly prone to earthquake. Again, here also you can see that Delhi is also coming somewhere here only. Okay, so here you can see that what is the color code of Delhi? This only. Okay, so Delhi is coming in the zone 4. Delhi is coming in the zone 4. Zone 4 is high damage risk zone. Okay, high damage risk zone. Here you can see that another important word is also there, like MSK 6, MSK 7, MSK 8, MSK 9. So like that way MSK scale is also written here. Okay, so MSK scale, the last earthquake which happened in Delhi, that was MSK scale 8. MSK means Medvedev spontaneous Kamik. So that is MSK. So this tells us that during an earthquake, the shaking, whether the shaking would be strong enough to cause damage to the, uh, I mean, like normally constructed building. If it's an earthquake proof building and all, then that's a different case. But in the normally constructed building, whether these will be able to inflict a larger or damage. So based on that, so this is MSK 8. Okay, MSK 8. So MSK 8 is, I mean, like in the high damage risk zone, and usually MSK 8 will be there. Here in this zone 5, very high risk zone and all, MSK 9 or even more will be there. Okay, all right. Here also you can see that important towns and earthquake zones they fall in. So Bhuj in Gujarat, it's in the 5 zone. Okay, here also in the Kutch region we had a very what was earthquake later period. So Bihar, Assam, Manipur, again the northeast, entire northeast region, this is in zone 5, coming in the zone 5 only. In the Kashmir region, some areas of Kashmir region are also, Srinagar and all is coming in the zone 5 only. Okay, so like that way depends. We have divided it into different areas. Okay, all right. Now we see what is actually the another important thing is the Aravali Delhi fold belt. Okay, Aravali Delhi fold belt. So this is actually a geologically active region. Geologically active region. This is actually formed by the rock layers. Okay, rock layers due to tectonic. For example, like sedimentary rocks will have. Okay, like this, like this, like this. It will be stacked upwards. Okay, so these are deformed rock layers caused due to tectonic plate. Okay, so this belt is also remaining seismically active, but still compared to the past earlier times and all, this is very much less active as of now. Okay, so this is also another important area. Okay, so what was special about the yesterday's earthquake, February 17 earthquake? So this earthquake had a magnitude of 4 only, Richter scale magnitude. Okay, so this earthquake had a magnitude of 4 only, but this was one of the strongest that to have occurred in Delhi in the past 5 years. And another important thing is, unlike many of the region's past numbers, this one originated near Delhi only, Daula Kwan in Delhi. Okay, Daula Khan in Delhi. So usually this earthquakes in Delhi, whatever earthquake which you have felt earlier, so that will be in either Uttarakhand or maybe in other areas and all. Tremors will be coming to Delhi, but this time this occurred near Delhi only. Okay. Another important thing is the tremors were felt wildly and many people reported hearing a peculiar sound. Usually earthquake won't make any sound. Okay. This kind of sound is, these are not audible. These waves are not audible for human. So that is why it won't be making any sound. So that is also one peculiarity about this particular earthquake and why it is unique. Okay. So basically Delhi being in a moderate seismic zone doesn't experience large earthquake. So that is something which we have found. So we'll see what are the reasons for this particular anomaly. Okay. So why large earthquakes are unlikely in Delhi? One is a slower tectonic activity. Okay. So this Delhi's tectonic plates are moving slowly compared to other we know, right, how this earthquakes are happening. Two plates will be there, and when two plates are moving in whichever direction it be, okay, that will be causing earthquake. So compared to other regions, Delhi's plates are moving in a slow way. So that will be reducing the likelihood of a large earthquake in that region. Okay. So that is one reason. Another one, lack of any major fault lines. Fault means there is a crack in the plate, that is known as fault. Okay. So Delhi does not sit on any significant active fault. Okay, which means usually the primary source of larger earthquake. For example, go to Japan. Japan and all, it's actually very active um, uh, fault line. Okay, so their earthquakes, Himalayan region, there also earthquakes are very much common. Okay, all right. So this is also one reason why uh, Delhi won't be having this large earthquakes. Okay, another one is history. If you take the history also, historically also the major historical earthquakes in Delhi are very rare. In 1803, one large earthquake happened, but again that also that was originated in Uttarakhand only, not in Delhi, but still that was so powerful that the tremors came to Delhi. Okay, okay. So this is regarding why earthquakes are very less, large earthquakes are very unlikely in Delhi. Okay, maybe a possible mains question related to this. Okay, all right. Moving on to next topic. So this is related to the color revolutions. Color revolution in the post-Soviet state. Right? Earlier we had the USSR or the Soviet Union. So post-Soviet, many of the states got disintegrated. Okay, including like Georgia. Here some of the areas where Western-backed uprisings also happen. So these uprisings we call using different colors. Okay, so that is why. So this is related to Georgia. Okay. All right. So we'll discuss what are this color revolution. Nothing directly related to India, but it's a very important. Maybe this color revolutions and all can be asked for a prelims point of view. Okay, like current events, that kind of way it can be asked. A previous year question in this regard: critically examine the evolving relationship between Russia and West in the backdrop of crisis in Ukraine. Mostly it is related to Russia-Soviet relations only. Okay. All right. So we'll see what are these color revolutions. Okay. So color revolutions are series of non-violent uprisings. Series of non-violent uprisings that took place in former Soviet states. Okay, Soviet Union. It was a very big territory, but now, as of now, we have Russia as a major power player and different Soviet states disintegrated. Okay, so these are non-violent uprisings which happened took place in the former Soviet state, especially in the early 2000s. Early 2000s. Here you can see 2003, 2004, 2005. That we call it as a color revolution. Okay, so every revolution is named after a color. So that's why it is known as a color revolution. Okay, so we'll start with the first one, that is Rose Revolution. Okay, so this is Rose Revolution which happened in Georgia in 2003. Okay, so this was a peaceful uprising. All these are non-violent peaceful uprisings only. But what is the aim? To overthrow the government like the Gandhian way. Okay, so Rose Revolution is actually a peaceful revolution. The purpose was to removal of the president. Okay, the president and that the president was removed and another person was brought to power. Okay, but initially this was seen as a success for democracy. All this revolution, initially this was seen as success of democracy, but later this government was also became corrupt, and again they also became authoritarian, and whoever supported this, they also were turned against this particular government. Okay, another one is the Orange Revolution which happened in Ukraine. Orange Revolution which happened in Ukraine in 2004. Again, this was also triggered by uh, this allegations like corruption, fraud, allegations against the present government only. Again, this was led by the opposition leader of that particular Ukraine. So he demanded free and fair election, and again this revolution also resulted in the establishment of a pro-Western government. But again, the same fate happened to this also. The new government also struggled to fulfill the democratic promises, and again they also failed. They had the public dissatisfaction. Okay, another one is the Tulip Revolution. Another one is the Tulip Revolution which happened in Kyrgyzstan. Okay, Kyrgyzstan in 2005. Again, this is also against a president only, President Akayev. So that also led to political changes. Again, this had some of these had the Western backing also. Okay, why? Because these were having uh, aligns to the Soviet ideology, some of these governments. So these were having, these revolutions were backed by the Western group. Okay, Western group in the sense US, Britain. So that, okay, so our here also in Kyrgyzstan also the government failed. The government failed, and again they also failed to what fulfill the promise of the people. Okay, all right. So what is the Russian perspective? What is actually the Russian perspective on this color revolution? Why? Because all these are former Soviet Union states. Okay, so these revolutions were seen by Russia as a threat. Okay, Russia as a threat, and again it will be having a, they feared that it will be having a broader geopolitical interest. Not just Russia, even China. Russia along with China also perceived this uprising as Western backed. And again, this is something which was they purposefully did to destabilize the proper governments. Okay, they are not accepting that these are corrupt governments or something. They are saying that this is something which they instigate to topple the elected government of that region. Okay, so that was Russia's view on this. And what were the outcomes of this color revolution? While this revolution promised some significant, all these revolutions happened because of the promises only. Promises that, okay, this government is not good. When we are coming to power, we will be fulfilling all your all the promises, but still again they also fail to deliver. The new government still plagued by corruption and even often aligned with the best politically, but without, they were also not able to bring any reforms in this particular regard. Even many citizens also became frustrated, and they were also disillusioned. They even thought that, okay, this is not going to change any time. Okay, so that kind of a feeling also they have got. Okay, there are some broader implications of this model. Okay, color revolutions were intended as models of promoting democracy and Western value, but somehow their success was limited. Somehow their success was limited, and even this political, mostly these people who came to power, they were people who don't know how to rule also. Okay, so that is something. So the future of color revolution as a method of political change remains uncertain. So it will depend on how international dynamics evolve, particularly the resilience of state facing the external pressure. Okay, so this is how everything went. Okay, all right. So hope you have understood all these topics. So yeah, this is a fifth topic which we are having. This is related to places of worship. Okay, place of worship. We have already covered it in this DNA of 26th November. We have covered it in detail. What is actually this place of worship act? What are the implications related to this particular issue? You can watch the DNA. The link will be posted in the chat box. Okay. Next one again, new CEC was appointed. Yanesh Kumar was appointed as a new CEC. Again, with this also we have covered, like what is the appointment process, what is the selection committee, all these things were covered in DNA of 15th February. Okay, you can check that also. Next one, again, this is related to the DDoS attack that happened in the Karnataka's Kaveri 2.0 portal. Again, this also we have covered it in 12th February, DNA of 12th February. So you can watch that DNA. Okay, all right. Again, another important one. This is related to China's East reactor. Okay, China's East reactor. Again, this also we have covered related to fusion reactor. Only what is a fusion reactor technology? What is the difference between fusion and fission? What are the advantages? What are the ITER? So like that way, all these things we have covered in the DNA of 13th January. Okay, you can check that also. Okay, all right. Moving on to mains question. Again, this is related to constitutional morality only. Okay, so how has the Indian judiciary utilized constitutional morality to address issues related to social justice and equality? Illustrate your answer with relevant case laws. Okay, so you can start your answer by defining what is this constitutional morality, what is this constitutional morality, and again, what is morality, what is constitutional morality, what is actually the relevant, especially related to, the question is specifically related to Indian judiciary. Okay, so what is the relevance to Indian judiciary? So like that way you can start it. So you have to illustrate your answer with relevant case laws. We have already discussed the most important case related to this constitutional morality. So you can quote that. Yeah, in the body you can write judiciary's role in upholding the constitutional morality. What is the spirit? You can write this. Philosophies like equality, justice. Uh, so all these things you can, liberty, all these things you can write in this body. Okay. After that, what is asked? It is to illustrate. It is to illustrate with the relevant case law. So we can go with the relevant case law. One is NAS Foundation, and again another one is Navtej Singh Johar case, both related to section 377 of Indian Penal Code. Other one is related to Shabarimala case, gender equality. Josephine Shine case, again related to this adultery. Okay, so all these things we can use. You can even quote some other case also. Okay, this is what I've already taught in the DNA, so that's why I've kept this one. Okay. All right. So finally, you can write the challenges and criticism. What are the challenges? Why constitutional morality is sometimes being criticized? Why? What are the issues in upholding this? That also you can mention. Okay. With the potential challenges. Finally, you can give a way forward. How we can, how we can strengthen the fiscal autonomy. How enhance in training, political interference. All these things you can write. Okay. Finally, you can conclude it. Judiciary's contribution to social justice. Like that, we can conclude. All right. Now, these are the prelims practice questions of yesterday's daily news analysis. Yesterday's daily news analysis. So, today's daily questions of today's daily news analysis will be discussed in tomorrow's DNA. Okay. All right. Question, it's related to Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. So the scheme aims to enhance irrigation and land fertility by providing quality seeds and fertilizers to farmers in infertile and undeveloped agricultural land. This is correct only. It will cover 100 districts based on parameters such as low productivity, moderate crop intensity, and below average credit. This also correct only. Earlier we had a program like ADP was there. Okay. So again, this also going in the same lines only. It will be covering 100 districts related to that. Finally, third statement, the scheme is implemented solely by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. No, again one more ministry is also there, Ministry of that Dairy and Animal Husbandry is also part of this scheme. Okay, so this is correct. This is correct. This is not solely, one more ministry is there. So correct answer is 1 and 2. Okay, correct answer is 1 and 2. Next one, again this is related to sovereign gold bonds only, sovereign green bonds only. Okay. All right. Sovereign green bonds are debt instruments issued by national government to raise funds for environmentally sustained project. Again, this is correct only. India's sovereign green bonds were first introduced by Union Budget 2022-2023 to finance low carbon project. Again, this is also correct. Sovereign green bonds in India follow the International Capital Market Association standards. Again, this is also correct only. Funds raised through sovereign green bonds are managed by Reserve Bank of India, not subjected to audit. Okay, this is not correct. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. This is not correct. Okay, correct answer is B, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that is a correct answer. All right, next one. Okay. Next one. Consider the following statements with reference to Indian Ocean Basin. Okay, Indian Ocean region. Indian Ocean region is the fourth largest of the world's 5 ocean. Indian Ocean is the fourth largest of the world's 5 ocean basins. It's actually the third largest of the world's 5 ocean basins, not the fourth largest. So this is wrong. So this is wrong. Indian Ocean region handles around 60% of the global maritime trade and 80% of the global maritime oil trade. This is correct. Okay. So correct answer is B. Okay, B only is a correct answer. All right. So these are the prelims practice questions of today's DNA. So this will be discussed in tomorrow's class. So what you can do is you can go to our website navigator.narayanias.com. So there the link will be posted in the chat box. So there you can directly practice these questions. Okay. Tomorrow we'll be taking it for discussion. Okay. These are the 3 questions of today's daily news analysis. Okay. I've already discussed. I've already shown you one question in the beginning. Okay. Today February 18, this Royal Indian Navy mutiny has started? So if you know the year, you will be able to answer this question. Okay, the Royal Indian Navy mutiny is often seen as precursor to which major event in Indian history? Okay, Quit India movement, Indian independence, partition of India, non-cooperation movement. Okay, 1946. Royal Indian Navy mutiny happened in 1946. By that time, Quit India movement was over, non-cooperation movement was over. Only thing which was remaining was Indian independence and partition of India. Partition happened much laterly. So this is something which was precursor to Indian independence. Okay, so that is a correct answer. Okay, all right. So that's all for today's daily news analysis. Hope you have understood these 4 topics. So that's all for today.